Hi, my name is Paula Willey. I'm a librarian in the Children's Department at Southeast Anchor Library, part of Enoch Pratt Free Library here in Baltimore. Today, we're going to make a decoupage pencil cup out of an ordinary tin can, some glue, and some paper. Decoupage is just a fancy word for gluing something to a surface and then putting more glue on top of it. What you need for this craft is some glue, white glue, or Mod Podge is sort of special white glue for decoupage if you have some. You need a little bowl for mixing up your decoupage stuff and a brush. A foam brush is really, really good, but any wide brush is going to work if that's what you need. What else do we need? Oh my gosh, we need a can. You can get a can out of your recycling. We're gonna wanna wash that and take the label off. And we need paper. You can use any kind of light, flimsy paper. Advertising circular works out of your junk mail. If you still subscribe to the newspaper, newspapers are good. Magazine paper, as long as it's the light kind, works. And my favorite, tissue paper. If you have some tissue paper that you use for wrapping presents or that came as packing material with something, grab that and we can use some of that. Are you ready to get started? Let's go. Start with a clean, dry can. Next, you're going to want to get rid of that little sharp edge that sometimes happens when you open a can. The best way to do it that I've found is a regular old metal spoon. Put your can down, find that edge, and just with a little bit of pressure, push down and check to make sure. Parents, if you're doing this with little kids, this is definitely a step you want to do yourself. Next, I always like to plan out what I'm going to do, even if it's a collage like this. So here's how you plan it out. You don't have to. You can do it completely off the cuff. Make a little mark on your can. Set it down on your paper. Trace that end and the top and the bottom. Now roll your can across the paper until that mark hits the paper on the other side. I'm going to use a ruler and connect these two ends. So this is the amount of space we have to work with. All right, that's a really simple design, but it's something to start with. And I can trim my paper so that it fits one end to another. Let's make some decoupage medium. If you're using white glue, then the proportions are 3 parts glue to 1 part water. All right, that to me looks about right. Now let's start decoupaging our paper onto the can. Always best to start with the lowest layer, the bottom layer of your collage. let's spread the glue in a thin layer all over where the paper is going to go. Press the paper down and give her another thin layer of glue. The second layer of glue not only makes sure that it's gonna stick super extra good, but it gives it a shiny finish. Next, we're gonna glue on the beach. I'm gonna put a little glue under here so that we can wrap the tissue around the bottom and not have a raggedy edge. Sponge brush is good if you can find it, because it lets you push your paper down into any little crevices and cracks. And let's leave this to dry. It's gonna take 2 or 3 hours, or maybe even overnight to dry, and then we'll come back and take a look at it. If you've got leftover decoupage medium, or if you're not sure that you're completely finished with your project, dump it into an empty jar or cover it up with a piece of plastic wrap. All right, looks like our decoupage pencil cup is dry. At this point, you can decide you're done, or you can add a little bit of decoration. I'm going to add a little decoration to my pencil cup and see what that looks like. Don't forget, you need to add a second layer of glue on top of anything new that you put on. When you're satisfied with how it looks, leave it to dry overnight, and you're going to end up with a cool decorated cup to put your stuff in. Thank you for making a decoupage pencil cup with me today. Listen, if you ever make any of our crafts, take a picture of them, post them online with the hashtag @ThePratt. We are really looking forward to seeing your work.